You know, something that's not very complicated. Of course, I did go back and oh, come on. Come on. Can we? No, can we? Come on. Come on. We can do this. We can do it. Get the car over. What's up, guys? My name is Khan, and we're back today in Scrap Mechanic. And after this week's Multiplayer Monday, where we had to do the Loot Crate Challenge, I got really frustrated, and I looked at the comments, and I noticed a lot of you guys got frustrated too, and you all basically said the same thing, which is that, you know, I lost because my vehicle design sucked, and I could have made the vehicle a lot better, and a lot of people were questioning, you know, why I did the thing I did. So if you guys didn't see that challenge, it was a really simple challenge. We had to open up a bunch of loot crates, and we could only use the blocks we were given in the crates. So this is what I was basically given, and I had to use 3 wheels and make some sort of a 3-wheeler. And like an idiot, I put the steering in the back, and pretty much everybody just reamed me out in the comments for it and told me, like, well, no wonder it flips over, and like, yeah, you should have put the seat, like, yeah, no, we can't even get going. I mean, this thing is absolutely terrible. And I made the comment in that video, you know, I haven't really seen too many stable 3-wheelers in Scrap Mechanics. So then I sat down and I said, you know what, I really should try and just make some 3-wheelers, because it's kind of a really funny vehicle design. So I looked at all your suggestions, and the biggest suggestion for the Multiplayer Monday, I mean, the one big problem too is this thing's made of wood. I wasn't allowed to use like metal blocks or anything really that was heavy. I had to use wood. So, but the one suggestion, of course, was to, you know, have the steering in the front and instead of in the back, and have the single wheel in the back a little bit higher up and lower the whole vehicle down to the ground. So I basically remade the Multiplayer Monday vehicle if I was, you know, smarter. And, you know, it is a lot more stable with the 2 wheels in the front and the steering on the front wheel. And, you know, it, of course, drives a lot faster. And I think this actually could have won. And, you know, of course, keeping that lower center of gravity, even with solid wood, this is just a much better vehicle. So clearly, you guys in the comments there on the last Multiplayer Monday video, you knew a little bit more about what you were talking about than what I did. But then, of course, I said, you know what? I can't just leave it at that. I do want to go back and make some other 3-wheeled vehicles, because why not? And I'm sure there's a million of these on the workshop, but I wanted to make my own one. And of course, it's like that 3-wheeled car from BeamNG almost. So we've got a single wheel in the front, and then an engine, and then the seat, and 2 wheels in the back. And it drives very slow, because if you speed it up at all, it will just kind of fall over. It pretty much falls over all the time. I mean, even just trying to park it. But I think this is hilarious. This vehicle's great. Like, if there was survival mode, I would totally use this just for scooting around a town or something, just because it's got a nice little, you know, control to it, and it's not very stable. Come on, buddy. No, I mean, the nice thing about these cars though is they are very light, so you can just kind of, come on, there we go. You know, you don't even need to put it on a lift. You just take your hammer out, flip your car over, and you can keep driving. I mean, it's great. I love this thing. I love the look of it. It is, of course, all vanilla. You could make it, you know, a lot different with mods and all that, but these builds are all vanilla. And of course, you know, it reminds me, I don't know, there was a car in real life I thought that was kind of like this car. I don't know what it was called though. I know the BeamNG one is called the Pigeon, I believe, and it's a 3-wheeled car, very similar to this. But if you guys do know what that car is in real life, I know there's all the modern day ones, which have the 2 wheels in the front, and they're all, you know, super fancy and all that. But this was, I think, an older one, and I'm pretty sure it was from somewhere in Europe, maybe. I'm not positive. But if you guys know, let me know in the comments down below. I was looking online, and every time I tried to look for 3-wheeled cars, we just flipped on the same turn, literally the same turn. But yeah, I was looking for 3-wheeled cars online, and all I was finding was like all these modern day ones. But you know, this one, it's pretty great. I love it. I think it's awesome. And when survival mode comes out, I'll definitely make a vehicle like this just to have it, just because, like, why not? And I mean, maybe even put a little bit of automation on it. But it definitely looks hilarious. Oh no! Come on! Yeah, it's not really good at racing. This is a very low engine power, by the way. It's got a metal base. You see there, all that black is metal, and then the wood on top to try and make it super light on top. And even with that, I mean, it's a very narrow body car, obviously trying to stick with the small wheel designs, little personal transport. I love these little 3-wheeled cars. I think they're great, and I actually kind of want to make a little trailer for this one, and just have like a little, it looks like almost like it should be like delivering milk or something. Like we should be going and dropping off milk at people's houses. But, you know, very simple vehicle. I was just kind of kicking back, and playing some Scrap Mechanic and just building something really simple for once, and just you know, something that's not very complicated. Of course, I did go back and come on, come on, can we? No, can we? Come on, come on. Okay. We can do this. We can do it. Get the car over. Yes. Perfect. I can't wait for survival mode in Scrap Mechanic, because I think depending on how hard it is going to be to get resources, there's going to be a lot of, you know, smaller vehicles that are built and not just these massive monstrosities, and a lot of things that we're going to need, you know, just to get from point A to point B, or, you know, to work together and gather resources and that sort of thing. So I really can't wait, and I'm really excited for it. And a vehicle like this, of course, would be relatively easy to build, I would think, depending on how hard it is to get resources. And, you know, I'm really excited to see what that brings. Of course, after building, you know, the terrible pigeon three-wheeler, which I'll upload it to the workshop. There's, I think, like literally a million of these on the workshop. I was searching three-wheeler on the workshop, and I came across a lot of these. But then I came across a few that looked like this. And of course, again, all vanilla. Oh, I missed a painted spot there. Right. This is a three-wheeler, more modern style, except I've kept it with sort of the skeleton frame. And in the back here, we've got two suspension pieces which go down to these arms, which are free mounted to this sort of rocker arm setup. It looks a little bit weird because I wanted to be able to control the position with this bearing here of this back wheel setup. And then on the front here, we've got two double wishbone setups, of course, with that suspension piece there as well, which gets angled in again on some controllers and just sort of free floats. But overall, it gives you a very, very fast three-wheeler with a lot of suspension. Now, the one thing I don't like about the double wishbone suspension is it inherently, and the rocker suspension on the back actually too, they inherently create a suspension glitch. And it's not as powerful as if you had one actually on, but when you take corners, and you'll see what happens, but the vehicle wants to stay stable on its own. For example, if we go like this, and we tip up this back wheel, you'll see it'll fall down, but you can see how it has almost a little bit of resistance, and that's from those suspension pieces. So you can see here, even if we tilt it sideways, you got the same sort of effect. It takes a little bit for it to, oh, and okay, apparently it can actually just stall completely. Well, that's impressive. And so you can see there is a little bit of suspension. So again, if you guys know in the comments down below, or you have any videos to suggest, I'm sure someone has gone through suspension before, and a bunch of different suspension techniques, and, you know, figured out the ways for the suspension to actually stay very level, you know, and without that suspension glitch. But I would love to remove that suspension glitch, because this vehicle, obviously, it's very, very stable, but it's mostly stable just because of those effects that are happening. You see there, even when we take this corner, we'll go up on one wheel, and even flying through the air, it just, you know, it stays very, very level. And I'd love to remove that. I know there's different setups. If you don't angle the suspension pieces, you get less of an effect, but it seems to always happen with these custom, you know, suspension setups. And I'd love to see a few that don't actually cause that glitch. I don't know if it's possible. I've also thought about maybe putting in piston suspension, because I don't think pistons cause that. But, you know, overall, I've just been having a lot of fun going back to some basics and building some basic vehicles. I am working, obviously, on the more complicated logic projects, but sometimes it's nice to just kick back and, you know, make something relatively simple and relatively easy, and just have a little bit of fun, and, you know, think about the days when survival mode's a thing, and we're gonna need all sorts of vehicles to drive around. But anyways, guys, make sure you hit up that comment section down below, and let me know what your thoughts are on survival, and of course, any other basic vehicles or more complicated vehicles you'd like to see. I'm always, you know, it's nice for me to take a break from some of these crazy, very logic-heavy projects, and just sort of relax and build something, you know, simpler in Scrap Mechanic, and something that's just fun to drive around with, and a lot of fun to just play around with. And, you know, of course, let me know what you think about survival mode and the potential. I mean, the devs are very, very quiet about it, but I'm very curious to think what your guys' thoughts are on how resources are going to be collected, and, you know, the importance of vehicles and all that. And make sure you hit those buttons down below, and as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time.